Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all something, and I need you to hear me loud and clear. When a man says these 6 little words, she's just a friend, that's all. You better stop, pause, and look deeper. Because see, men, we don't just hand out emotional energy to women we don't feel something for. And if a brother got to explain a woman like that, chances are he's already crossed the line. When a man says, she's just a friend, that's all. Those 6 words might sound innocent at first, but when you really sit down and listen, I mean really listen, those words are usually dressed up in lies. See, a man doesn't feel the need to explain a friend unless something ain't quite right. Think about it. When's the last time he broke down every detail about his male friends? Never, because he doesn't have to. But the moment a woman's name pops up and he says she's just a friend and says it with urgency like he's trying to convince you and himself at the same time, that's when you better perk up and pay attention. That phrase is a cover-up. It's a defense. It's like putting caution tape around a crime scene but telling everybody to ignore it. If she really was just a friend, why is he going out of his way to bring her up before you even ask? Why is he getting nervous when her name shows up on his phone? Why is he all of a sudden getting defensive about someone he claimed wasn't that important? If she's truly just a friend, he should be open about her. You should have met her by now. You should have been introduced. And not just in passing, not, oh yeah, that's Keisha from work, but in a real setting where you can see for yourself what their interaction is like. Because when something's honest, it don't have to hide. Now let's be real. Men don't keep emotional friendships with women they're not at least curious about. That curiosity, that's where it all starts. A text here, a joke there. Next thing you know, they've got inside jokes, shared secrets, and private conversations. And if you question it, here comes the defense. You're just insecure. You always overthink. You don't trust me. But here's the truth. You're not crazy. You're observant. You're picking up on the shift. The longer he spends defending her instead of defending you and your relationship, the more clear it becomes he's emotionally, if not physically, somewhere else. Let's not forget, cheating doesn't always start in the bedroom. It starts in the mind. It starts with conversations he wouldn't want you to read. It starts with sharing things with her instead of you. And that little phrase, she's just a friend, that's all, is the doorway, it's the excuse, it's what he tells you so he can keep going without interruption. Women, y'all are strong, smart, and intuitive. Don't ignore your inner voice. If you feel a shift, you're probably right. If you're asking about this friend more than once, if his stories don't add up, if he suddenly guards his phone like it's Fort Knox, that's not love, that's lying. And if he was bold enough to say, she's just a friend while treating you like a stranger, you already know what's going on. Trust yourself. You ain't got to snoop, argue, or beg for the truth. Just listen, because those 6 words often say more than a whole conversation ever could. Men are simple creatures, I know, because I am one. And I'm not saying we don't have depth or emotion, but our patterns, our habits, our thinking, they're not complicated. When we're into something, we show it. When we're not, we pull back. That's the truth. So when a man feels the need to defend a female friendship with too much passion, too much explanation, or too much detail, that's not normal. That's not how men usually move. Men don't go around explaining every friendship they have unless there's something behind it they don't want you to see. And that's where the danger lies. When a man says she's just a friend and then follows it with a whole speech, talking about how long they've known each other, how she's going through a rough time, how they grew up together, how you're just overreacting. Listen closely, not just to his words, but to his tone, to the way he's trying to control the narrative. Because when something is truly innocent, it don't need all that extra justification. It's only when the waters get muddy that people start pouring bleach trying to make things look clean. That's when the stories get long. That's when the guilt starts leaking through. Now, look, if a man is truly just friends with a woman, you're going to feel it, you'll see it, you won't have to wonder, because he won't act shady about it. He'll introduce you, he'll invite you into that circle. He won't be laughing at inside jokes with her while leaving you out of the loop. He won't be texting her at midnight and then flipping his phone over when you walk into the room. Real friendship has nothing to hide, but when that friendship comes with secrets, private hangouts, and sudden changes in how he treats you, that's not a friendship. That's a problem. See, what most people don't understand is that men don't keep emotional relationships with women without a reason. We don't. If a man is consistently talking to a woman, checking on her, confiding in her, and laughing with her, he's getting something from that connection. And if he ain't getting that same thing from you, then you better believe that other woman is filling that space. Emotional cheating is real. And more often than not, it's the first step before physical cheating begins. A man doesn't just fall into bed with someone. It starts small. Harmless texts, casual conversations, secret compliments. Then, boom, he's in deep. And now he's stuck trying to lie his way out of it. Men don't juggle emotional energy the way women do. Women can nurture multiple friendships, deep and meaningful, with no romantic intent. Men, not so much. When a man invests his time and emotional energy into another woman consistently, there's usually some kind of attraction or emotional dependency forming. And when he tells you she's just a friend with more emotion than he shows you on a daily basis, that should be your red flag. Because if he's more concerned about protecting her feelings than he is about protecting your relationship, you're already losing ground. Let's talk about this another way. Imagine if you had a male friend. You start texting him often, laughing at little things he says, and talking to him about things you don't even tell your man. And then when your man asks, you say, he's just a friend. Now flip it. Would your man be okay with that? No. He'd lose his mind, because deep down, men know the game. We know what that friendship really means. That's why when we say it ourselves, she's just a friend, we're hoping you don't question it. We're hoping you trust us enough not to dig, because we know once you start digging, you're going to find something. And let me tell you, when a man is doing right, he doesn't need to hide anything. His female friends will respect your position. They'll know their place. They won't be calling late at night. They won't be trying to compete. They'll want to meet you. But when a man is crossing lines emotionally or physically, everything becomes a secret. Suddenly she's just a friend from work, but you've never seen a picture, never heard her name until now, and can't even find her on his social media. That's not friendship. That's a cover-up. That's a lie wrapped in casual words, hoping you won't notice the knot in his throat when he says them. So pay attention. If his stories change, if he gets defensive, if he flips the blame onto you every time you bring her up, that's not love, that's manipulation. A real man will make you feel secure. He won't keep you guessing. He won't let another woman get more of him than you do. And if he ever has to convince you that she's just a friend more than once, then deep down he already knows he's in the wrong. You don't need to be a detective. You just need to watch how he acts, because a man's actions will always tell on him. His words might lie, but his behavior will speak truth every time. Women have something powerful that no one teaches them to trust enough: intuition, that inner voice, that gut feeling, that quiet alarm bell that starts ringing when something just doesn't feel right. It's not paranoia, it's not insecurity, it's instinct, built in, and more often than not, it's right. See, when you've been with someone long enough, you start to feel the shift before you even see it. His tone changes, his energy feels off. The conversations get shorter, the laughs get fewer, and suddenly your name barely comes up in his world anymore. But she does, that friend, that woman he swears means nothing. And still something in you says, look again. And that right there is your gift, your intuition, trying to protect you. But what do most women do? They ignore it. They doubt themselves. They say, maybe I'm just being too sensitive, or I don't want to seem controlling, or the worst one, he wouldn't do that to me. But the truth is, if your intuition is talking, something's already off. You don't get that gut feeling for no reason. You don't start questioning someone you trust unless their actions have changed. And when he starts saying she's just a friend, but you feel like there's more to it, that's when you need to stop silencing yourself and start listening. You see, intuition is that quiet detective inside your soul. It picks up on what your eyes miss. It hears the hesitation in his voice. It notices how quickly he puts his phone down when you walk in the room. It catches the way he used to talk about his day but now avoids sharing anything real. It spots the deleted messages, the quick glances, the energy that shifts when that other woman texts. You're not imagining it. You're reading the truth he's trying to hide. Let me break it down even more. Women are built to connect, to sense emotion, to feel what isn't said out loud. That's why when something is off, you feel it in your chest, your stomach, your skin. But the world has taught women to second guess that power, to ignore their instincts in favor of being cool or not overthinking. So instead of asking the questions they already know the answers to, they sit quiet, hoping it's all just in their head. But it's not. It's in his actions. It's in the way he treats you now versus how he did before that friend came around. And here's where it gets deeper. Your intuition also knows when you're being emotionally starved, when he's giving his attention, affection, and energy to someone else. You feel it when he stops noticing your new hairstyle, when he no longer compliments you, when you're sitting in the same room but he's locked into his phone like you're not even there. Your body feels that disconnection before your mind can even explain it. And often that disconnection has a name. It's usually that friend who keeps showing up in texts, social media, or his stories and casual conversation. But still you hesitate. You don't want to be that woman, the one who snoops, who accuses, who questions. So you let it slide. You give the benefit of the doubt. You want to believe the best in him because that's how you love, fully, deeply, loyally. And he knows that. That's the part that stings the most. He knows how good your heart is, so he hides behind that. He uses your loyalty to buy time, but your intuition keeps nudging you, louder every time. And when it's screaming and he's still gaslighting you, saying, you're crazy, or you're just being jealous, or you always overthink things, then baby, that's not love. That's manipulation. Let's talk real for a minute. A man who respects you, who truly values you, will never make you feel like you have to compete with another woman for his attention. He will never make you feel like you're overreacting just for trusting your gut. A good man will notice when you feel off and ask, what's wrong? Instead of getting mad that you're questioning him. He'll bring you into the conversation, not hide parts of it from you. He'll volunteer information instead of waiting for you to dig for it. That's the difference between real love and shady love. Now, I'm not saying every man who says she's just a friend is cheating, but when he says those 6 words and your whole spirit tenses up, something's not right. Maybe he hasn't cheated yet, but he's emotionally gone. Maybe he's already started entertaining the idea. Maybe he's talking to her more than he talks to you. That's still betrayal. That's still wrong. And your intuition is picking up on the emotional neglect he's feeding you while giving someone else the best parts of him. So what do? You listen, not to him, to you. You get quiet and sit with yourself. You ask, do I feel secure? Do I feel seen? Do I feel respected? And if the answer is no, over and over again, then it's time to stop ignoring the signs. because your peace should never have to beg for attention. And your intuition, it's not a burden, it's a gift. It's there to keep you safe, to protect your heart before it breaks completely. A woman's intuition is one of the strongest forces on earth. It doesn't need evidence to feel the truth. It doesn't need proof to sense a lie. And when it whispers, something's not right, you better believe it's not just making noise. It's showing you the road ahead. The question is, will you walk it or keep pretending you don't see the signs? So no, you're not overthinking, you're not crazy, you're not being too much, you're just finally listening to yourself. And sometimes that's the bravest thing a woman can do. When a man starts using that classic line, you're just being insecure. Let me tell you something. It's not because he's trying to soothe your fears. No, most of the time, it's because he's trying to flip the script. He's trying to make you question yourself instead of you questioning him. And that's one of the oldest tricks in the book. It's called deflection. It's emotional manipulation. He's trying to protect the lie by making you doubt the truth you already feel inside. Now think about this. Why would a man who loves and respects you respond to your concern by calling you insecure? Why wouldn't he listen, lean in, and ask, what's making you feel this way? See, a real man, one who's invested, present, and faithful, he won't get angry when you express your feelings. He won't shut you down. He won't make you feel crazy for noticing something is off. But a man who's hiding something, a man who's guilty, oh, he's going to deflect. He's going to try to silence you because the truth is you're getting too close. You're asking the questions he doesn't want to answer. Here's what people need to understand. Insecurity doesn't come from nowhere. It's not born out of thin air. In a healthy relationship where there's consistency, transparency, and communication, insecurity has no place to live. But when behavior changes, when routines shift, when attention disappears, insecurity moves in, not because you're broken, but because something in the relationship has broken trust. And when you bring that up, when you ask, why don't you call me like you used to? Or why is she always liking your pictures? Or why did you delete those messages? You're not being insecure. You're being aware. You're noticing patterns. You're paying attention. But instead of giving you honesty, he gives you blame. You're always starting drama. You're overthinking again. You don't trust me. No accountability, no ownership. Just guilt turned back on you like a weapon. And sadly, so many women fall into that trap. They start apologizing. They start shrinking. They start believing that maybe they're overreacting. But let me say this loud and clear. Your emotions are valid. Your gut is valid. Your experience is valid. If something feels wrong, it probably is. And no one who loves you should make you feel like you're wrong for simply trying to protect your peace. Let's talk about the deeper layer of this, that kind of manipulation. When a man dismisses your concerns by calling you insecure, isn't just disrespectful, it's dangerous because it chips away at your self-esteem, little by little. Every time he makes you doubt yourself, he's dimming your light. Every time he shuts down your voice, he's taking away your power. And when that happens enough times, you start to believe him. You stop speaking up, you stop asking questions, you stop trusting your own instincts. And that's exactly what he wants. Because the more silent you become, the more he can hide. A faithful man doesn't need to hide. He doesn't need to erase messages, keep his phone face down, or hang out with women you've never heard of. He doesn't need to call you insecure when you bring up something that made you uncomfortable. Instead, he'll say, I hear you. He'll say, let's talk about it. He'll reassure you, not just with words, but with actions. Because love, real love, is safe, is open, is honest. It's not a mind game. Now, if your man is constantly calling you insecure, it's time to ask yourself why he's so invested in that label. What's he trying to avoid by putting the focus on you? Is he trying to avoid explaining why he's always texting that woman from work? Is he dodging questions about his sudden interest in being private with his phone? Is he avoiding the fact that